Hello guys, Albert here. Today I'm going to be ranking all 109 cards in Clash Royale, without the exception of super cards or whatever they are. I don't remember, but I excluded those because they're not really actually in actual cards. But to start off, we're going to start with win conditions, and we're going to start the top row. So, Battle Ram. I've played a bit of Battle Ram. Honestly, it's a decent card, but it doesn't really work well in a lot of my decks because it's underleveled. But in tournaments, I will play it because it's a decent card to use. But honestly, if I'm gonna rank this anywhere, I'm gonna put it in decent card because it is a really decent card, and honestly, you should probably use it. I should have put it in there. Would recommend, but it's a decent card. Next up, Mortar. Now, Mortar, more often than not, is an annoying card to deal with, considering that it has a ring around it that it cannot hit, and it will. And once you have a card placed on top of it that's supposed to go to it, it won't walk on. So you want to use like a cannon card to like counter it, like a Tesla, a cannon, those kind of cards, or maybe like an Archer Queen. So I'm gonna put this card in good, but I hate it because I really do hate it. Um, Expo. Do I even need to say anything? I don't think I do. It's a very annoying card. Its hit speed is stupidly fast, and it can just chip away at your tower, even if there's something on top of it, like a P.E.K.K.A. Well, that doesn't really make any sense, but if there's nothing there, it might as well take your tower. And synergizing with a Tesla, you're in danger. So good, but I hate it. Balloon. Balloon is a very, very good card. And I don't really use it, even though I probably should. It's honestly one of my favorite cards, but honestly, it targets buildings and it's pretty easily countered by like Rocket, Lightning, Tesla, Inferno Tower, those kind of cards. Electro Wizard, Inferno Dragon Hunter, anything that deals a lot of damage to it, it's gonna like instantly die. So I'm gonna put that in would recommend. Golem. Golem honestly is a annoying card to deal with if there's Night Witch in the deck, but oftentimes not many people play Night Witch with it on ladder, so it's honestly not that threatening if you have like an Inferno Tower, Inferno Dragon. If you have an Wizard to slow it and an Inferno Tower, then you're pretty much set. But when it pops, it releases two Golemites and it can deal a lot more damage. It's pretty much like an Elixir Golem, both more health. So I'm gonna put that in decent card. Honestly, Electro Giant. Not much I can say for this one. It's a good card. It reflects damage, and that's all I can say for it. It's pretty tanky. It's literally just a giant that shocks uh enemy troops. So honestly, decent card because it's really a decent card. Elixir Golem. This card is very, very good because if it locks on your tower is pretty much done for it. It's done. And so I'm gonna have to put that in good, but I hate it because I like it and it's good, but I just hate it because like I can never counter it properly. I always spend like at least 11 elixir to counter it. Giant. Uh, it's a fairly mid card. It's got too many counters on like Electro Giant. Like if you have an Inferno Tower on an Electro Giant or an Inferno Dragon, it's pretty much gonna like take out the Inferno Tower Electro or Inferno Dragon. But Giant, it's good for low arenas or like in giant graveyard decks, and that's pretty much about it. So mid card because it's a really mid card. Goblin Barrel. It's just an amazing card, honestly. Like, yeah, it can be countered really easily by like arrows, log, that kind of stuff. Barbarian Barrel, it is still a very, very good card. It's cheap, and if they don't have the proper spells to counter it, they'll either like fireball it or something. But it will still get a lot of damage if it's like a higher level. Because if like say like your opponent's tower's level 12 and your Goblin Barrel's level 13, takes 3 hits, and that's a lot of damage. Goblin Drill. I've never really seen it in ladder, so it's not used in many decks. So I'm gonna have to just put it in trash because it's not really that good of a card. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, Goblin Giant. Not sure where to rank this. It's got a lot of counters like Inferno Dragon, P.E.K.K.A, Minion Horde Hunter, Inferno Tower, a lot of cards. It's honestly a good card, but it's countered too easily, so it's gonna go with the Giant. Graveyard. It's in a good spot. It's just a really annoying to deal with. There's like sometimes I don't really have the proper counters, like swarm cards. So more oftentimes than not, like if they put like a hog rider and then a graveyard or graveyard freeze, my tower is done for because I don't really have the correct counters for it. So good, but I hate it. Hog rider. This card, it will melt your tower. I'm gonna be completely honest with you there. It's good, but I hate it. But I hate it, but it's good. I don't know where to put this, so I'll just put it in would recommend because I can't think of anywhere else to put it. Like, no decent card because it's really a good card for like chipping down towers in overtime. If like you have Earthquake and they have like cannon, just like Earthquake the cannon, it's gonna be really good for chipping down towers. I'm gonna tell you that now. Lava Hound, it's generally just really bad. It's yeah, it does have lava puffs that spawns when it like gets destroyed, but it's not really good. It's genuinely just a bad card in general. You know, Mega Knight. I'm not exactly sure if like it's considered a win condition, but if you like do like say like a war deck, you click it, it's gonna show a win condition, and Mega Knight more often times than not is in there. And honestly, it is my favorite card because it's got splash damage when like landing, and then it can just like take out witches really easily. But it gets countered by Inferno Dragon and Inferno Tower, and that's about it. Or P.E.K.K.A Minion Horde. Yeah, I can't forget about that. But there's not many other cards to deal with it unless you have like a knight in front of it and like you place 100 behind it. Other than that, it's like pretty much unable to be countered. So amazing card. Let me see here. Ram Rider. Ram Rider, honestly, not sure what to do with it. It's it charges like a prince and it can slow down enemies with its snare. And honestly, it's really good to do that. But it can be countered by Electro Wizard, Log, Zappies, anything that can stun will um counter it. And then they just got Fisherman, which can pull to the King Tower, but more often times than not, uh, it's not really gonna work. But you just gotta be lucky. So it's gonna go in mid card. No, yeah, Royal Giant. It's really good, but it's annoying because it's like Hog Rider. It chips away at your tower and just takes it out. Good, but I hate it. It's hard to explain the Royal Giant. Honestly, if there's one thing that like makes me mad was like the art, but that's completely different. That's besides the point. Royal Giant is a card that really makes me mad because like they're just played at the bridge. I could play like a Skarmy log. They're just throwing down a log, and it's really really annoying. Royal Hogs. This card is amazing for splitting. I'm gonna tell you that now. It can chip away towers like a hog rider, and it's amazing. I love this card. I don't even have to say anything about it. It's just gonna go an amazing card. And this is pretty much just my opinion on cards. Let's see here. We got Skeleton Barrel. Not much to say about it. It's genuinely just a bad card. Like you'll just like other than like them putting in behind a lava hound or a balloon, it's not really gonna do much because like more often times than not, once it like lands on something like the tower, they're just gonna like arrow or zap it, log it, that kind of thing, and it doesn't really work that well in decks. But like clone decks, it's still pretty good. Um, I think that I'm gonna consider Sparky a win condition. It's just I'm not gonna consider it a win condition. Let's just all right, troops. There's a lot of troops. So Elite Barbarians. This card is amazing. I would recommend it. It's good, but I hate it. But I would recommend it because I play it a lot. They're maxed out, and honestly, it just goes to town. They're really good with Elixir Golem. Like put them behind an Elixir Golem, boom, tower's gone. Archer Queen. It's amazing. Activate that ability. That tower's gonna be down to half health. The invisibility and like the speed for it once it goes invisible is amazing, and I love it. Um, let's see, archers. I don't really see it in decks except Expo, and they're not like bad, but they're mid, so I'm gonna put them in mid. Cause yeah, like they're they're not able to be taken up by log. It's usually log arrows, no log zap, but arrows is a equal counter. So, but if you log zap it, then what are you doing? Like your opponent's up one elixir. Baby dragon. I don't really see it. It doesn't really do much damage. So, and it's probably gonna stay that way because it's just really a splash card that's a support unit. So mid card. Bandit. I I think it's supposed to be like a knight because knight does not one shot goblins and neither does a bandit. It's a balanced card. I should have put balanced card in this, but I'm too lazy to do it now. So I would recommend it to you guys because it's honestly a really good card. It dashes like a prince, and honestly, if it dashes on a goblin, it's gonna get taken out. Like normal goblins, it takes two shots, but spirit goblins, it only takes one. And it stops a prince's charge and golden knight's charge. It's really good. Barbarian hut. It's been buffed once. It's I think, or a couple times. Um, it went from 7 elixir to 6 recently. Well, not recently, but still. And they spawn about 3 barbarians each time, and I think it spawns one when it's destroyed. But it's not really a good card. If anything, it needs to have a buff spawn time. So I'm gonna put that in buff this card. Barbarians, God, they are really, really strong against like giants, goblin giant expo. Because like if you put like them on an expo and like your opponent doesn't have fireball, they have to rocket it, and you're up one elixir. Because if they play an expo at the bridge, they still need 2 more elixir. But if they play Tesla expo, then you pretty much just throw it down, and it's gonna just go to town. I feel like, but it's gonna take a little bit more to counter that. So mid card and bats. We're gonna do spells later. Bats, God, I, I say just like give them a little bit more damage, honestly, because they're pretty weak, and I don't. Because if you put it on top of a goblin giant, they're just gonna die immediately. Balloon, they're just gonna zap it. So honestly, just give it a little bit more damage, and that's it. You don't need to change anything else except the damage. Speed's fine, speed fine. Battle Healer's gonna go with Elixir Golem right next to it because if you put Elixir Golem, Battle Healer at the bridge, good God, dude. Like honestly, It's just an annoying combo. I don't know what else to say about it. It it heals and it's amazing. It's like a heal spirit, but it's right there. It doesn't die. It doesn't die to a rocket. It'll take a rocket log, which is 8 elixir. So you're gonna be up 4 elixir if they do that. Ooh, Dark Goblin. Good, but I hate it because I can never get the timing right with like arrows or stuff. Wait, arrows is fine, but log it. I always am too late to like react because it's so fast and it shoots so fast. And honestly, yeah, bomber. This card has been touched a little bit. It didn't really get much changes. It got, I think, a little bit back, like, I think 2017, 2018. It went from 3 elixir to 2 and got a health nerf. I haven't really seen many balance changes. It's genuinely just a decent card. It's really good. It splashes. It does everything a card would do. But bowler. This thing is just annoying because it can knock like your mini pack back if you like try to counter it. Because like you have to put something in front of it and then like do something about it. If you put like a prince on it, then you're fine. But it's just really annoying to deal with. I don't know why. And Kanikar, I'm not sure if it's a building or a troop. I'm just gonna go with troop. It's had a bit of changes and went from very fast to I think fast. I think its attack speed is the same, but other than that, it's just the same. It's a decent card. I don't really have much to say about these cards because they're all like somewhat balanced. They're pretty fine, but some some of them aren't. Some of them are just bad. Some of them are good, but they're just infuriating. Not Dark Prince. It's invulnerable to a bullet's pushback. Well, I call both princes Dark Prince. Wait, fuck. I call both princes just Prince because why not? Dark Prince is honestly a good card. It gets countered by Band, and that's about it because it's like this card splashes. If you put a Skarmy on it, then it's just GG's because it's gonna connect your tower because it splashes. But if you put like an Electro Wizard on it, it's gonna like stop this like the charge, and it's gonna deal some damage. Decent card. It's a very decent card. Electro Dragon. It's really only seen in like battle healer decks. It's not that good of a card. It doesn't have much health. Its speed is slow, and it's just an expensive Electro Spirit. That's all it is. So trash. Electro Spirit, amazing card. It's an amazing card because like if you put that behind a mini P.E.K.K.A. and they play a Skarmy, it's gonna jump and it changes. I think it changes like chains 9 troops or 11, and it's honestly amazing. I love the card. I don't play it though. Electro Wizard, it counters Sparky, and that's all I know. Except and Dark Prince, but playing it on an Electro Giant isn't really the best option. Like, yeah, I can like reset the Electro Giant's stun, but it's gonna just die because like it will like automatically shock it back. So it's a mid card, but an Executioner is a decent card. It's honestly I think better than a wizard because like it throws an axe, it like goes pierces through, and it will come back, and like it continues to throw it and throw it. It's good against Minion Horde. It's good against Skarmy. You can support it with, and you can support Mini P.E.K.K.A. with it. It's just a decent card. It's balanced. When it came out, it wasn't. But Firecracker, ooh, ooh, how I hate this card because anytime like you try to like counter it with like a mini pecker or something, Goblin Gang, whatever, it's gonna go back and it's gonna go back so far it's gonna lead to the other side and they're gonna put like skeletons or something on it and counter your mini peck or whatever. It's really annoying. Fire Spirit, I'd recommend it in some decks. Not a lot though. Like yeah, I can sort of support a mini P.E.K.K.A. by like killing some of the skeletons, but like more oftentimes than not, it will go for the right side of Skarmy. and won't help that much. So yeah, Fisherman. hmm, I'm mixed on this card. It's good and I hate it, but it's a decent card. And the reason for this is because it can pull. It will like throw its hook out and pull it back. Well, whatever it is. Or it will go to a building and like latch onto it and pull itself toward it. I guess I can recommend it because it's really good. If you want to you do a quick little King Tower activation with that tornado, boom, just throw it down. It'll swing its hook and pull like the hog right towards it, or Drain or whatever. Flying Machine. God, it's a good card, but I just hate it. It genuinely, more times than not, if you just leave it be with and like a connection on your tower, it might do about like 1500 damage. But it's pretty weak though. It's pretty weak, but it's still pretty good, and I hate it for that. Royal Ghost. This card is just just bad in my opinion. It doesn't really do much, honestly. It can get countered like really easily, even if you surround it with like you can surround it with a Skarmy. The thing's gonna die immediately. The invisibility doesn't help much with it. I don't know what to say. I'm mixed on this card. It's decent, but it's trash. It doesn't make sense that some of these cards are so bad that I just avoid them. And I've only wanted my cards to tournament standard, and this card's gonna be a tournament standard for a while because I don't really see a use in playing it. But Giant Skeleton, ooh, this card is so annoying. If it connects to your tower and they clone it, your tower's done for. It will shred your tower like a cheese grater. It's annoying. You cannot deal with it almost ever. You play like 16,000 elixir, and it's gonna like kill everything. If it's too close to your tower, you're done. Just forfeit. Spear goblins. I don't know. It's mixed. It's a mid card. It's very balanced. There's not much I can say about it because they're two elixir, three goblins, and they kill air cards, and that's it. It's like a firecracker but less annoying, and a dark goblin but less annoying, and they can be countered pretty easily. Goblin Gang. Hmm. I'd recommend it. It's honestly a really good tank killer because like you've got three goblins, three spear goblins, and sometimes the spear goblins will stay a safe distance away. But if you like play it in at the bridge where the enemy like wind conditions coming from like a giant, the spear goblins will go in front and they just pretty much die. So you want to like put them in the back so that goblins run towards the giant and take it out. And sure, you might want to play like a little bit of an extra card like Tesla or something, and it's gonna be worth it because you still got full health Goblin Gang, and it's gonna go to town unless they have log or arrows. It's gonna be pretty bad. Goblins. They went from three goblins to four. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's a mid card. It's very mid. It's good in a lot of decks. I don't really see them though. I really see Goblin Gang. That's about it. It's mid. It's a very mid card. Ooh, Golden Knight is just amazing, but it's so annoying. You can play a single card, and more often times than not, it's on the wrong tile. It's gonna dash to your tower, and once it gets done taking away the the troops, it's gonna go right for that tower. And it's a knight, but it hits faster or has the same hit speed. I'm not sure, but it's just a one elixir more expensive knight with an ability. So pretty much five elixir knight. If I want to play a five elixir knight, I just play a prince. Ah, Healer Spirit. It had a big radius in when it was replaced when it replaced the heal spell, but I don't know what to say about this card. It's just kind of bad. Like people love the heal spirit. It's just bad though, really bad. I hate it. Hunter. Hunter is a decent card. It's a good counter to balloon, hog, real hogs, um, battle ram, and sometimes if you're lucky and you play it at the right time, you can counter a goblin game with it. It's amazing. Um, Royal Giant too, Golem, that kind of stuff. Elixir Golem, I mean Ice Golem. It's bad. It's just trash. It's not used for anything except in Hog 2.6. You'll play the Hog and then the Ice Golem. You'll go in front and just it'll take for the Hog. That's about it. It doesn't really do much except tank. It's a cheaper Golem. That's it. All it does is just sit there and just walk slowly. It does not do anything. Okay, Ice Wizard. It's amazing. I'd recommend it because I I sometimes played in like some of my decks if there's like balloon. I like put in my deck sometime because I like counters. I like to slow stuff down so I can have a little bit more time to counter the card that they play. It's just a good card. It's balanced, but in the next update, they're making his spawn radius 3 tiles. I'm not sure how that's gonna help the Ice Wizard in any case, but I assure you, it's gonna do great things. Inferno Dragon. It's bad. It's countered by literally everything. Goblin, Spirit Goblin, Goblin Gang, Minions, Minion Horde, Skeletons, Fire Spirit, Electro Spirit, Bomber. Any of those cards is going to counter it. Archers, Night Witch, Royal Delivery, Ice Spirit, Guards. Those cards completely counter it. Especially Zappies, Electro Wizard, and Tombstone. If you play this card, it's not going to do much. It's just a damage ramp up baby dragon. All it is. Knight. Knight is just good stats for its cost. It's amazing stats for its cost. And they are going to be releasing level 15. Not sure how that's going to work out. It's a decent card. No, it's an amazing card because of its stats for the cost. It's amazing. I don't play it. It's a little under leveled for me, but I'd play it if it was maxed out. It's really good. I love this card. It's usually used in Expo, and it makes me hate it, but it's still a really good card. Magic Archer is just good, but I hate it because it pierces through, and if you play like the wrong card at the wrong time, it will pierce through through across the bridge to your tower, and it's gonna be free damage for the opponent. But other than that, it's just bad. I can't put it on trash. It's good, but it's annoying to deal with. It's really only countered by um, Poison Fireball. If you rocket a Magic Archer, you're insane. Hey, that's about it. Mega Minion is just, it's like a knight. It's good stats for its cost. It's a decent card. It's got good health. It's got good damage, DPS, and its speed is like a minion's, but I think a little bit slower. Like, yeah, it gets countered pretty easily, but other than that, it's still really good. You got a balloon coming your way, no problem. Just throw down a Mega Minion, and, like zap the balloon because it's gonna like deal with that balloon lickety split. Mighty Miner, amazing card. I love it. It counters Mega Knight, but it's still really good. You got a giant coming your way, boom, throw that down. Got a golem, boom, throw it down. Goblin Giant, throw it down. But if you play it on an Electro Giant, it's game. You lost. You can't do anything about it. Yeah, it gets countered pretty easily by like anything low health because like it gets around. But its lane swap can help with that. So if like they play Goblin Gang and you know they're going to, just lane swap. It's really good. That's why it's an amazing card. It like if there's a problem in the lane where you place the Mighty Miner, you can take care of it no problem with a giant bomb. And then go into the lane and deal a bunch of damage if you have log or arrows if they're playing something else. Amazing card. Miner. Miner needs a buff. It literally got a 70% damage deduction for crown towers. It deals, I think, 58 damage to crown towers at level 11. That's it. It's just, it needs buffed. Like before, it was really good, but at this point, it might as well just heal the tower. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me if like next season they add a minor heals the tower mode, and this thing needs its damage back. I would play it a lot more if it had more damage, but I don't see a reason in playing it. It's bad. It's just really bad. Minions is a mid card. It's countered by Dark Goblin if you place it at the right tile. It won't get any hits. Firecracker can take it out. Fire Spirit can like lower it to one hit for the Princess Tower. Uh, but if you have Mother Witch, you get free piggies. You get free piggies. But Minion Horde, ooh, that card is sour, bro. Like you will play a balloon, and more often times than not, they will throw down a Minion Horde. Electrical Minion Horde, Giant Minion Horde, Mega Knight Minion Horde, Battle Ram Minion Horde. But if you play it on Mighty Miner, say bye to your Minion Horde, it's not doing anything. And especially on Giant Skeleton and Lava Hound, it's gonna take everything out pretty easily. Like a lot of people play it on a cannon cart to ensure that it doesn't get any hits, and it's really annoying. Mini P.E.K.K.A, top tier, top tier. It it's really good. It's like a knight, but a little bit better. It deals more damage. It's a really good counter to Mega Knight. Yeah, yeah, it gets countered because the surrounding guards, but it's really good to take care of stuff. I I don't see any like a lot of people playing it anymore. It's still a really good card. It's in almost every single one of my decks. I don't understand why people quit using it. It's still really good. Monk. It's it's just bad. It needs buff, dude. It needs its 4 elixir cost back. It it's it has like a knockback thing every 3 hits. It's still bad. Like I don't understand. Like on the third hit, it doesn't like splash. It like it literally claps. It doesn't make sense. And the fact that it um like can reflect things, it doesn't really help if you activate the ability because like more often times than not, they'll play like an Inferno Tower or Inferno Dragon, Mighty Miner, and it'll counter it once it's out of its invulnerable state, and it gets countered super easily by recruits, Skarmy, Rascals, Guards, that kind of stuff. It's just not very good. Mother Witch. Oops, Mother Witch. It's good, but I hate it because it can spawn piggies. Like you can like play like a Skarmy to play like to counter a P.E.K.K.A and P.E.K.K.A Bird Spam in a match against P.E.K.K.A Bird Spam. They'll play Mother Witch, throw it down, boom, and like yeah, it might kill someone with like the piggies as it comes through, but it doesn't really do much because it's still gonna get through because once there's too, a little less skeletons, it's just done for. Oh, Musketeer, Musketeer, recommended, but still absolutely amazing. I would put it in amazing. I just want to recommend it to you guys because it's really good. It it's really good at countering like uh hunter if it's crossed the river. It's good at countering balloon, mega minion, anything, especially lava hound, um, skeleton barrel, and electro dragon. It's just a good card. I love this card. It's in almost every one of my decks, like the mini P.E.K.K.A. But yeah, and Night Witch. This card needs to be buffed. But actually, in the next update, they're gonna be giving Night Witch her death bats back. No, it's not gonna be 4, it's gonna be 2. And I see this as it was years ago. I didn't play up until like I think 2021 because I didn't know what the game was at the time because no one had told me about it. But I've seen a lot of a lot of old videos of like people playing Night Witch because they would clone it and it would die, and like the death bats were absurd. Like if there was a dead Night Witch and it was cloned, you're dead. You're tower down. Especially if they play like an ice golem, you're done. But Pekka, ooh, it's good, but I hate it. Actually, no, it's a good card. It's a mid card. Decent card. It's genuinely just countered by too many things. It does a lot of damage, so it's good against like Golem, Electro Giant, E-Barbs, that kind of thing. It two shots E-Barbs. Really, really good. Anything with high anything with high health, it's gonna easily take care of it. Phoenix. Ooh. You know, it got nerfed to the ground, but it's in a balanced state now, so I want to say like buff it or anything, but it's gonna go in trash because it dies to too many things now. Lightning kills it. The egg dies to log, which yeah, that might be fine, but still, you've got Dark Goblin will easily take it out. Firecracker, Minion Horde, minions. It's just bad, really bad. Prince. Hmm, I don't know where to put it. It genuinely would be like interesting if like an update they would like have Prince like push through like enemy troops like push through five enemy troops like if there's a skirmish like pierce through five enemy troops. It would be really cool, but other than that, it's generally just a mid card. It doesn't really do much besides kill tanks, like like Ice Wizard, Giant Skeleton, Golden Knight. But it gets countered by Golden Knight. It's not gonna do much against Golden Knight, but it does pretty good at countering barbs. It's like a Dark Prince and vulnerable to Bowler. It's it's pretty good at countering a candy cart and battle ram. That's all I really know about it. It's just kind of like there for show. He's a stuck-up loser who always thinks his looks are better than anyone else's. But Princess, it's good, but I genuinely just hate it. I could have a massive push with like guards and a mini P.E.K.K.A. and a Mega Knight and double elixir, and if I'm against Logbait, they'll put down an Inferno Tower for the Mega Knight and then a Princess for the guards and the mini P.E.K.K.A. and it's the game. And then if it goes into overtime, they're just gonna rocket cycle you. So yeah. Ah, lumberjack, lumberjack. It's good at tank killing. But its damage is really weak. I'm genuinely just gonna have to put this in mid card. It's a decent card. It's got good DPS and it's got good health, but I'm I'm a bit biased about what they did to Rage. I'll talk about that when we get to the spells, but let's continue. So Rascals, ooh, my I'd say they're a decent card. It's good to counter like mini P.E.K.K.A. and stuff because for like it's just a one elixir trade. Like your opponent's up one elixir, so what? You can easily get that back. And then like with the Rascal Girdles, like once the Rascal Blood dies, it distracts the mini P.E.K.K.A. It also does pretty good at countering Cannon Cart and Dark Prince and Prince, obviously, because Prince it deals a lot of damage after it's charged, but that's all really that's all it does. And it's also I want to say pretty good against Mortar because it like the Rascal Boy will go up to the mortar and like hit it while the Rascal Girls stay behind and like shoot it. But and like the mortar doesn't kill the Rascal Girls in one hit. It takes two hits. So and with its slow like hit speed, it's gonna get easily countered by Rascals. It's just a good card. Recruits, God, this card needs a buff. It's bad, like really bad. I can't remember if it can one shot goblins, but it's just bad. Yeah, like they might have shield, but still, they need buffed. Like just give them a little bit more health and um DPS. 'Cause I get that they might be the king's uh royal servants, but still, shouldn't they like be at least a little bit trained in combat and have a little bit more health with that training? Like if they got trained, then they should be dealing a lot of damage. Like But anyway, skeleton dragons, trash. Like they're just two dead baby dragons. That's it. And they're gonna get like I think point 0.5 tile difference spread, so it's gonna be like one tile to 1.5, I do believe, or point 0.5 tiles to one. So that's a kind of significant change. It's not really gonna do much, but and they just get easily countered. Like they're just really weak. Like I can play a dark goblin, and like they'll just melt. They will die. I can counter them with a royal delivery, and they'll just die. It's just annoying, but Skeleton Army is an amazing card. It was the first ever card I got to level 11, and I've been happy with it ever since, but I don't really play it anymore. It's just kind of sitting at level 12 with star point 1 because I waste a lot of star points. Let's see. Skeleton King. Hmm. I would put this in buff this card now, but it's just a decent card. It doesn't really need change too much. It it's balanced where it's at. Yeah, they might have removed a couple like skeletons from its ability, but whatever. Skeletons, ooh, good, but I hate it. And I'm gonna put guards with it too because those two cards really make me angry with when I play a mini P.E.K.K.A. and like I expect something like I'll preemptively arrows and like they'll play um the skeletons or guards and I play two small spells because it's gonna take care of minion horde and what is it? Inferno Tower for like my Mega Knight. I can zap it, it'll be fine. But but it's not gonna do much against guards. The zap isn't anyway. It's gonna get the shield down to like 1/3 of its health, but then the mini pick is still gonna go through uh to the skeletons. Ice Spirit, it's a mid card. Its masteries are annoying. That doesn't know how to do with anything. It's the same as all the other spirits. If I could put the spirits in one section together, they'd be in trash. Except for Electro Spirit. I love you, Electro Spirit. Three Musketeers, amazing card. If you're in overtime and you have the elixir after defending, you will, and like you have pocket control, you can just throw that thing in the pocket and that thing will melt the tower. For 9 elixir, it is worth it. I promise you. I don't have much to say for that card. It's got to be like in my top 20 favorites. And Mini Pekka being #1, obviously. Um, Tombstone. Wait, no, that's a like, Valkyrie. Valkyrie, it's a pretty decently balanced card. It does a lot of splash damage. Well, I don't want to say it does a lot of splash damage. It does splash damage because I don't know what to say for Valkyrie, honestly. It's just a tank that deals splash damage. That is it. I'm just gonna put it there. Wall breakers. They are good, but I hate them because I never play buildings. I don't see the point in doing it. It just wastes a spot in your deck. It's annoying, honestly. They're annoying to deal with, and 9 times out of 10, my arrows are out of rotation when they play it. Which trash. It's a very bad card. It's it's been reworked, I think, over 20 times, 23, I do believe, the exact number. Um, I it's just bad. I don't like it at all. I used to play it a lot. It was a good card when I played it. The lower arenas. It's just bad now. It is just bad. I don't like it. And especially that new art design. Ugh. Wizard. I love this card. Yeah, it might not be the strongest card or whatever. It's really good. For a 5 elixir splasher from Clash of Clans, it's really good. Honestly, it might have low health. It's It hasn't been reworked in over 5 years. It's in a good state right now, except it's not really in a good state because the amount of counters it has. It's still a good card, honestly. Sparky. It's good, but I just hate that card. I hate it. It makes me mad. I can play anything, and it will still somehow connect to my tower. That's all I have to say for it. Zappies. I want to put this in trash or buff this card now, but they aren't bad or need buffed. They're I would recommend this card to you. If if you're in Arena 10, which they got moved down Arena, this is the card you want to use because it's gonna be good at stopping Ram Riders because sometimes um they'll play a Ram Rider. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense because Ram Rider got moved to Arena 11. Never mind. But it'll be good at like stunning giants, goblin giants, that kind of thing, balloons, and like retargeting expos on a like higher health troop. It's it's a it's a really recommended card I would recommend to you. Buildings, bomb tower, trash. I hate this card with fire passion. It does almost nothing for me except sit there. It drops a bomb like a giant skeleton. That's all it is. That's all it does. Yeah, it might throw bombs and deal splash damage, but like so what? It's still a bad card. And pretty much it just more times than not, they're not even gonna like the opponent's not even gonna play a ground card. They're gonna play an air card and just abolish your bomb tower, and then go to your tower. It's really only good against recruits and um, witch or barbarian, whatever. Um, it's bad and elixir pump. It's bad. It all it does is generate elixir for 6 elixir, which in my opinion is a waste. It's really only good in like expo decks. So yeah, and Inferno Tower, I kind of recommend this card to you because it's if you're going against a lot of Mega Knight decks and like higher arenas and your Inferno Tower's low level and you have the golden cards for it, upgrade it. Up, upgrade it and counter that Mega Knight, counter that P.E.K.K.A, counter the Golem, counter anything with high health. You earned this. You earned this card. You earned it in whatever arena it was. You earned it. This is a good card. Trust me. Tesla. Another card I would recommend. It's good at taking care of balloons, battle rams, hog riders, cannon cards. Just a really good card. It's used in a lot of expo decks, and if you want to play expo, by all means go play it. But I would never recommend it because it's not going to get you far. Cannon, it's an amazing card. I don't really play it, but when I do, I always go against hog decks. So I will play this card. And I would rather use like a Tesla to counter the hog, but cannon is just a better option. And like sometimes there'll be like a roll hog, so I'll have to like Mega Knight it, and it's gonna be a lot easier to defend it. So Goblin Hut, it's getting a rework, so I'm gonna put it in trash because it was in a fine spot where it is right now, but they're taking the like after it's destroyed down to 3 goblins to 1. It doesn't make sense. It's fine where it was. It didn't really need to be changed, honestly. And furnace. I would recommend it to you if it's a high level because it takes 3 hits to kill a fire spirit at the same level Princess Tower for any spirit. So if you want chip damage, then throw a furnace down. That's at least a higher level or the same level. Goblin Cage. It's a card that I don't really like. It's good at dealing with like Mega Knights and stuff, like once it lands, but then like it'll retarget to your Princess Tower and jump on the Goblin Giant and lose half of its health. So it's not really that good of a card. I don't know if I want to put it in trash or mid. I'm putting it in mid because I don't really hate the card. I just don't like it that much. It's about a 90 to 10 ratio of me liking it. 90 to liking it, 10 to not liking it. So, yeah. Tombstone. This card is really messing with my head because I don't play it. I don't know what to do with it. So, mid. It's a mid card that spawns skeletons for 3 elixir. If you want to, like, play something that has skeletons, just play Skarmy. It will spawn. I think it has more. I think Stormy has more skeletons than Tombstone, but Tombstone is just a good distraction against like Hog Rider Expo. So if you want, but the bad thing about playing against Expo with the Tombstone is that once it destroys the Tombstone, it locks onto your tower. So, I don't know. Spells, Barbarian Barrel. It's just a decent card. It's it's good at countering things like anything Goblin wise or Skeleton Army. And it's a good distraction card, honestly. Clone is trash. Just to put it there. It just clones the troops. And it doesn't do much. It just sits there. It just sits in your deck until you find a good moment to clone something. It doesn't do much. Earthquake, decent. I would recommend it because you often go against a lot of buildings sometimes. So it's a good card to have, especially against Cannon with a Hog Rider. Like I said, Fireball, amazing card. I don't have to say anything. It's an amazing card. You want to counter the Three Musketeers, Wizard or Musketeer? Throw a Fireball at it. Zappies, Fireball it. Barbarians, Fireball it. It's an easy solution to a lot of Fireballies. Mother Witch, Fireball it. Minion Horde, Fireball it. You don't have arrows? Fireball that Minion Horde. Electro Dragon, Fireball it. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Amazing spell. Freeze. Trash. It doesn't do much. It just freezes the tower for a couple seconds. It doesn't deal any damage. I'm surprised that Supercell considers this card a big spell. I'm serious. They consider this card a big spell. It doesn't make sense. Like, how can something that does like 60 damage be considered a big spell? It, Lightning, it's a decent card. If your tower's low on health, like say like 300 health, like Three Musketeers have more health than the tower, and Lightning will go after cards that have the highest health. So, like Lightning block it, surround it with the Three Musketeers. Zappies, I don't think so, but hmm, yeah, I don't really know what else. Minion Horde, yes, Minion Horde, block it. Um, that's about it. That's all I know about Lightning. Mirror, I would recommend this card to you 1,000 times. It was the first card I ever maxed out, and honestly, it was in a balanced state until I think the Clash from the past season when they reworked it back to its original state, where once you mirror a card, it will go to level 15. And it's been that way ever since. And I dropped mirror for a very long time. Arrows, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna put this in an amazing card and leave it. I don't need to say anything. It counters a lot of stuff. Skarmy, Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang, Spear Goblins, Goblins, Tombstone, Guards, Dark Goblin, Minion Horde, Minions, Princess. I could go on. And it even slightly counters Skeleton Dragons. Yes, you heard me. Skeleton Dragons. Use it while you can. And Poison. It's some mid card. It's getting, like, nerfed significantly, in my opinion. It's getting, I think, like a 5% damage reduction for Crown Tower damage. But yeah, I want to say. And Rage, like I said with the Lumberjack, I hate Lumberjack because of what they did to Rage. Now it deals area damage, which makes no sense. Why would they do that? Just so that people can counter Skarmy or something? Just throw it down and get a positive elixir trade? So what? Big deal. If I wanted to counter Skarmy with um two elixir, I'd use a log or snowball or zap. Rocket, it's annoying. It's good, but I hate it. I can play anything, and they'll just chuck a rocket at it. More often times than not, they'll go against log bait player, and they'll rocket my musketeer. Um, I want road delivery's fine. They just need to buff the recruit in there. It's 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 just bad, honestly. But there's one thing I don't really understand about it is it shows the contrail for when it's falling, but when it spawns the recruit and like it takes damage, you don't see like the golden letters for the level. It's not yellow, it's not gold like the other ones. So my thing is, why not add a second star level so that um it like the box is more golden, and then a third one that makes the royal recruit gold, and that'd be a smart idea. But that's just me. And snowball is just mid. It's generally just good for like knocking back goblins. That's from a goblin barrel, and yeah, that's about it. Log, amazing. It's genuinely amazing. I don't know what to say about it except that it's amazing. It's good at countering a lot of things. Like, got an Evo on your tower, log it, put a Skirmy on it. 5 elixir counter. Boom. Done and over with. Tornado, ah, decent. It's genuinely just decent. There's not much you can do with it except tornado like hog riders or golems to your like golemites to your tower. That's that's pretty much all it'll do. Like tornado the elixir golem blob to your tower. That's about it. And finally, zap. Zap is in a really good spot right now. It's it's in my deck. It's amazing. I love this card a lot. It's it's really good. It's good for taking out Skarmies, like resetting Inferno Towers if you want to like retarget something besides your Mega Knight or P.E.K.K.A. Yeah, it's really good. And if you have Electro Giant Zap, and before it even gets to the Electro Giant gets to the Inferno Tower, it's gonna be at half health. So you want to zap the Inferno Tower, and then once it locks onto the Inferno Tower, it will start reflecting damage after it starts dealing damage. And that concludes it for the list. And keep in mind, this list is just my opinion on what cards are good and what aren't. So please don't harass me for what I think about these cards. And thank you for coming to my video. Uh, Almost an hour long. All right, see ya.